Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So my chilies are really starting to grow on quite a bit and they're really taking some nice shape and putting some leaves on. So it's time to start taking some action and deciding on how we're going to get these to grow on. And I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment. So keep watching and we'll show you how you get on with that. So I've got my first sale of chili plants that I'm going to ship out today. So if anyone does want any, so get in touch and I'll tell you what we're doing and how to do it. Now what we've got here are some mixed habanero plants and we're going to decide on how we're going to get these to grow, and I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment. So what I'm doing is I'm picking a couple of habaneros that are roughly the same size and roughly the same in the same. There you go. Okay. So these are habaneros, and what I've done with these is I've picked two plants that are roughly the same size, that are in the same compost, are in the same pots. And what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment and to see which method of pruning these at this stage gets them to grow on and perform better. Now we've heard about topping chilies and we've heard about fimming chilies. Now we're going to see which one works better and which one produces a better plant. So topping chilies, as the name would suggest, is literally to take the top off the plant to get it to bush out and send out side shoots. And I'll show you exactly how we're going to top this plant. So let's have a look at the two different plants and decide which one's going to be better to go with topping. You see how this one has all the leaves really close together? Now I think that's a better candidate to fim, that one. Whereas this one has a slightly bigger gap between the set of leaves and the top of the plant. So with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, it's going to be quite brutal, I'm going to come in and I'm going to go Bismillah and off it goes. And that's the whole top of that plant gone. So all I've done there is I've taken out the growing tip, and what that should encourage the plant to do is send out shoots from these sides. But like I mentioned, it's quite brutal. It feels quite brutal to me.
Touch the feet with the plant.
You touch the feet with the plants. Don't break my plants. Don't kick them. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do a comparison between this method of pruning and the method that I'm about to do now. Now, this method is referring to fimming. Most vegetable growers refer to it as pinching out. And that's the way I've always referred to it. I don't like these fancy new terms for something that we've always used. With this, all I'm literally going to do is I'm going to come in, separate the leaves, and I'm going to come in. Now you can do this with scissors, but with scissors, it all depends on how delicate you can be. But if you've got sharp fingernails, what you can do is you can come in, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and take that little bit of growing end there, if you can see it on camera. Very growing tip. I'm trying to show you exactly what I'm doing. Can you zoom in there? So where that leaf joint is, where that little tip is, I'm going to take that out there. Can you see it? There we go. And that's it. If you do it with your fingernails, you can be really gentle with it and be really accurate with how you do it. It can be a little bit more difficult to do it with scissors, so I prefer using my fingernails. So let my fingernails grow for a day and then have a go. So these chili plants, I mean, the leaves actually smell of chilies, so that's a nice sign. But these are all going to go in the compost. Now, we'll see how these perform, but I'm not going to just leave them there. Those pots are a little bit small, so what I'll do is, I've given them a little bit of a trauma, so what I'll do is I'll give them a little pot on as well, and we'll get them, we'll give them a little pot on, and we'll get them to grow up a little bit. Here, hold them. So first of all, let's get the labels off these and stick them over onto the other ones. Because I've had a bit of a nightmare when it comes to labeling and my chilies. So I've got some really hot peppers, some lemon chilies, some Trinidad Moruga, and some Scotch bonnets, but they're all been labelled up as hot pepper. It's either a Trinidad Moruga, it's either a lemon chili, or it's a Scotch bonnet, but it just says hot pepper. So someone help me out with the labelling there. And okay, can you start filling?
Oh, can you stop filling?
It's okay. So there we go. Now, I've had a bit of a problem with compost actually. We bought some compost in and it wasn't the best quality. So it's affected some of my plants quite a bit. The compost that I'm using now is my homemade compost. It's a lot of, it's made from, it's taken out of my hotbed that I used last year in the greenhouse. And if you don't know what I did with the hotbed in the greenhouse, go and have a look at that. But this is absolutely beautiful stuff. I mean, the stuff that I got, it's absolutely horrible. It's really spongy. It's really, it just doesn't drain. It's really poor. And I think it's affected some of my plants this year. Well, I know it's affected some of my plants this year actually. And that's what the difference a good compost can make. So a little bit of compost in the bottom. Out goes the plant. Just give it a squeeze at the sides so the plant comes out. And I'm glad that it's leaving some compost behind actually, because I don't want that. I can bin that compost or use it for something else. And do you know when you pot up plants like this? Oh, Zaki, not on top of the man. Not on top of it, guy. Yeah, do it down that side. There you go. See, the other guys are at school, so go on then. Down the side, down the side. The other guys are at school now. The schools are back open, so we're doing. It's just us two, isn't it, today?
My school is not open.
It's a mad dash to get this film edited and sent out to you in one day. So it's hard work at the moment. It really is. So we've got this chili, and it's the same plant as the other one. It's planted exactly the same time. Now this is one of the problems that I wanted to show you. This is that nasty compost that I had, and it's affecting the plant. The plant's not taking up its nutrients. That's why you can see the yellowing at the top of the new growth. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take this out. I mean, another reason that chilies can go yellow, or you can get yellowing on chilies, is excessive water. Now, this plant, it doesn't seem like there's too much water in it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to remove some of that nasty compost. We're going to bin that, and I'm going to pot it on again into fresh compost.
I'm doing your hand.
Okay, there we go.
There go.
In he goes. Firm him in nicely. Okay, Zaki, don't wipe it on your clothes, Bubba.
I'm gonna wear
Yeah,
this.
wipe it on there. There you go. Firm him in nicely, and that should take off beautifully now. And it's a slightly smaller pot as well. I mean, I think I potted him up into too big a pot too fast. If anyone does want green chilies, I've got loads of them. So if anyone does want them, get in contact with me. On my email's in my about description. So you can email me and I'll send you over a price list. So my friend Ian's been sending me a few different chili seeds, and he's inspired me to do this chili challenge. So the My Family Garden, or MFG for short, chili challenge. What he's done is he's sent me some spaghetti chilies, and what we're hoping for is to see who can grow the longest chili. We've got 4 categories. Who can grow the longest chili, who can grow the heaviest chili, who can grow the biggest chili in terms of girth or circumference, or who can grow the smallest ripe chili. Okay, it has to be ripe. It can't just be it can't be a half ripe chili. It has to be ripe, okay? So there are 4 categories, and there's no prizes, it's just for bragging rights. But join in. If you do want to make a video, do make a video, and what I'll do is I'll make a playlist and I'll put on everyone's videos who's taken part in it. But make sure you use the hashtag MFG Chili Challenge. So the judge... What are you doing, man? Zaki! That's a lot of mess, man. No, stop. Okay, put that away. Right, guys, we've got to wrap this up quite quickly before Zaki starts destroying the kitchen even more. Come here, come here, let me get you. So, because I'll get into some serious trouble if he carries on like this. So I'm going to get these sown. like I said, the judging is going to take place in my Facebook group, My Family Garden, hashtag Team Spanner. Come and join it if you haven't already joined. You can post your chili pictures in there, you can post your gardening pictures, you can just generally ask a few questions and join on with other discussions. But I'm going to get these sown before this little monkey cat takes over anymore. So I'm going to leave it there for this one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay.